I'm a mixed media artist, and what that means is I use all different kinds of things in my artwork. I work on canvas and I work on paper. I like all of my mediums. I love a piece of artwork that incorporates a lot of different things. It has a lot going on. I'm all about layer, color, and pattern. When I start a fresh painting, I always start with mark making. So it's a good way to activate the surface, but also to me, it's sort of a whispered prayer or a conversation that helps me to just kind of get all of that thinking out onto the paper or onto the canvas. Once I get the layers of drawing on there, I begin to cover those layers. Sometimes I go with white paint, or sometimes with matte medium, which kind of affixes the mark making, but it also smears it in a really interesting way to give it more action and more pattern and just more activity going on the canvas. And then next comes acrylic paints, and I don't plan my colors ahead of time. I just grab whatever seems to jump out at me. And I don't work with brushes either. I work with tools, rubber tools that are used for scraping the paint onto the surface. I like to put the paint down and pull it back up again. My work in the end will be very layered. There are many, many layers of paint and mark making. I also work with collage elements, and I do my collage with a translucent paper so that whatever's underneath can show through. And it really speaks of the layers in life and the layers in each of our story. We all have stresses with our families and with our work. And it's all about being able to just step away from that anxiety and that stress, and to put that all behind and put all that anxiety and stress onto the paper and leave it there. And then be able to cover it over with layers and layers. It's kind of what we need to do in life, is to step away from that stuff and cover it over with some joy. And for me, that's what making art and teaching art do. I also love to teach. One of my passions is to work with people who don't believe they're creative, and my intuitive process really is useful for people who are just starting out to learn how to be free and play and find that they really can create beautiful work of art. And also it's a good thing even for people who are established artists who maybe work in a different style, maybe a little bit tighter style, like realism or something like that. It's always a good idea to take a class with somebody who's a little more loosey-goosey to kind of loosen up and find a new way of approaching the work. My studio is located in Artworks Vass, which is an eclectic gallery in downtown Vass, North Carolina. We're at 129 Main Street, and I would love for you to come by and visit, see my work, take a class. You can find me online at www.amysmithart.com, and you can also find me on Facebook at Amy Smith Art and on Instagram at Amy Smith Artist.